Podnut Media.
Hello, everybody. It's time for another episode of the Cool Podcast. It's time for the show, everybody. This is going to be a lot of fun today. It's going to be crazy cool. Don't you know, it always is, never disappoints, right? Is that right, patrons and other listeners? Always delivers every dang time, as far as I can tell. From what I've been told, people have been loving it. And I'm loving it, and I'm doing it. Doing the show. That's why I'm here. It's pretty cool. We had a fun, crazy cool episode today. Some of your favorite segments. Some interesting information that you all need to hear. That's pretty much it. That's all we're going to do on the Cool Podcast. Yeah, hey! Woo-hoo. Wow, it's time for another episode of the Cool Podcast.
The Cool Podcast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're doing another show this week. Man, I'm glad to be back in the chair. Doing fun stuff, talking and laughing and having a grand old time with my friends, the listeners out there. Listening to it live on your podcast app of choice. That's how we listen to podcasts these days. And spoiler alert, we're going to talk about some podcasts. We're going to talk about some other stuff. I actually got some pressing information here that it's just kind of weird. I'll explain it when we get into it. But, you know, things have been going well in case anyone's wondering about Podnut Media. If things have been going good, where's my sound for that?
Podnut Media.
If people have been wondering if things have been going good over there, well, let me tell you, they're going good. They want more guests. They're expecting the tip-top, the highest end content that we can deliver. And that's what we're here to give you today. We hope we can live up to their lofty expectations. There may be a few changes around here, though, if we can't. But that's okay, because they've given us an opportunity to speak to all of our fans and to reach out to a new audience. Because that's what it's all about in the world of podcasting, is spreading your message.
Podnut Media.
Spreading good news to the world, because we all need it. We still need it. Thought that we wouldn't need it anymore, but it seems like more and more as days go by, we need it more and more. So that's why we're here to deliver you some cool content today on this episode. On today's episode, what episode is it? It's episode number 48. And we're going to get into podcasts. Spoiler alert. And this something that I heard on a podcast recently kind of stuck with me, where one of the hosts of these damn things, I won't say who it is, said, yeah, there's some people who don't have a lot of followers that still have podcasts. And if your follower count, maybe, you know what? I'm going to get into this segment and start going off. This pissed me off. Let me get into the segment, and then I'll continue on this rant. Rant over. It's the podcast roundup. Okay, begin rant. The rant is beginning again. Didn't even stop. It's still going strong. Well, this damn host of this podcast said, there's so many podcasts out there don't have a lot of followers on Twitter. And if your follower count is less than the number of podcast episodes you have, then you just need to stop. What? Are you kidding me? So that means we're about halfway through the cool podcast, which is good. We've got about, I think I have around 100 something followers. Get some more followers in here so we can get some more episodes. Because we pretty much need to hang it up around episode 100, which that wouldn't be a bad time to stop doing this. Man, and we might they might just pull the plug. Podnut Media, you never know with these folks, what they're going to get into.
Podnut Media.
Lofty expectations doesn't even begin to describe some of the stuff, some of the emails that I've been getting. Not even from Jeremy, but from someone else. Anyway, it's the podcast roundup, and I was going to play a new podcast that everyone's heard of, and it's been in the news, and I can't wait to listen to this.
Ooh, it's so good.
However, something just came over the wire. An email that I don't even know who this person is. It was just a link. You get a link in an email. Don't click on it. Could be phishing. Watch out. However, there was something about it that I thought, I'll check this out. It was just a YouTube link. That can't do much harm. And wouldn't you know, it was someone that we know is in this clip. It happened to be a podcast episode. I haven't heard of this guy for a while. I don't know if I want to. We didn't end on good terms. But we'll play it because it's the podcast roundup. And then we'll get into some other podcasts that you've been waiting to hear. But we got to check this out. Okay, let's check this one out. See what this is all about. Whoa.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to Shadow World Live 24/7. I'm your host, Earl Baskins, and here with me is my old friend, Groovius Grim. How you doing, Double G? Doing good. All right, everybody. We're going to take some calls here. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Earl. This is the Samurai Kid.
Hey, bud. Where you calling in from tonight, Samurai Kid? Or I'll just call you the Kid. How about that?
Yeah, that's great. Actually, so I can't actually say where I'm calling in from tonight because I'm kind of in hiding right now.
Oh, dang. Well, tell us about that. What's on your mind tonight, Samurai Kid?
Well, I just wanted to share some information I've been gathering about the reptilians.
Okay.
Have you heard of Zoom Dragon?
Yeah, they sell like gadgets and stuff. I think I bought some stuff on their website a while back. Really kind of cheap stuff they sell on there, right?
Yeah, that's the one. So, or was, I should say, they're actually no longer around anymore. They were actually a front for the reptilians. It's kind of crazy. The warehouses and the factories that they own were actually these massive storage facilities where they were storing alien weaponry and like selling them to China and Russia.
Okay, now I think I have heard some talk about this kind of stuff from maybe about a year ago or something.
Right. Well, let's just say most people who try to speak up about some of these shadow corporations end up disappearing. So I'm a little bit worried for myself. I was actually pretty close to losing everything because I was trying to share some of this information. Earl, have you heard of a guy named Mitchell Head in Disclosure Hour?
Oh, yeah. He has actually called into the show before. I haven't heard from him in a while. What's he been up to?
Listen, Earl, this is like what I'm trying to say right now. There is a war going on in the shadows right now, and Mitchell Head is in big trouble.
Oh, damn. So you think maybe the reptilians got to him or something?
In a way, yes. Mitchell was in way over his head, I think, because, well, how can I explain this? See, there's another group out there, and they're involved in the Shadow War too, and they're even more dangerous than Zoom Dragon. Earl, I'm talking about the Truth Seekers. They are a group of fanatical sycophants who have this cult-like fascination with their leader, this guy who goes by the name the Oracle. Have you heard of these guys before, Earl?
I think I've seen some memes about the Oracle on Facebook or on Twitter floating around recently.
Yeah, so the Truth Seekers claim to be fighting for the good of mankind against groups like the reptilians, okay? However, they are also extremely dangerous. My whole life was upended by the Truth Seekers. See, they are really diehard fanatics over there, and they're very protective of the Oracle, let me tell you. His identity has remained pretty much a secret this whole time. So let me give you some background on these guys. So the Truth Seekers started on this internet forum about a year ago. It was just like a normal forum talking about aliens and Illuminati and all that kind of normal stuff. But then this account called the Oracle started posting information about Zoom Dragon and reptilians and stuff. And people got hooked into all of his cryptic posts. They started to uncover all these things, and that ended up being true, like how the coronavirus was this biological weapon against the reptilians, you know?
Oh, dang, that's crazy.
I know, right? It gets even weirder from here, though, because the craziest thing is that right around that time, our friend Mitchell Head kind of went dark. We didn't hear from him anymore. His podcast, his website were taken down. I was trying to email him and couldn't get in touch at all. Luckily, I was able to archive some copies of his files. Okay, and this is when it gets crazier. Next thing you know, these guys, the Serpent Sons, are like coming after me. Sound familiar? Obvious Zoom Dragon connection there with the snake imagery and everything. Anyway, they ended up hacking my files and stealing all the information about Mitchell Head.
Whoa. So what are you getting at here? Tell us what you're getting at.
So, Earl, what I'm getting at is that I think it's the man himself, Mitchell Head, who started the Oracle account on the Truth Seekers forum. I actually have all of the chat logs, the IP addresses, the data dumps, and everything from that original forum. It's all here, Earl. He was the Oracle.
Wow, that sounds like some really deep and valuable information. But hold on a second. You said he was the Oracle?
Okay, I'm getting to that next, but here's where it gets really weird, Earl. So the Serpent Sons planned this big attack, basically a terrorist attack in Ukraine, and kidnapped some people, one of which was Mitchell Head, the Oracle. The Truth Seekers were pissed, and they came after me, basically erasing all of my data and everything. They blamed me for the Serpent Sons getting all the information. So, okay, the Oracle is back, though. Earl, listen.
What? What do you mean? Mitchell Head is back? I'm confused.
No, look, Earl, this isn't Mitchell Head. The voice, he was on this podcast hosted by this guy that I really hate. Anyway, this podcast that he was on, he was claiming to be the Oracle, but it was this weird British guy who sounded like a wizard or something. And Mitchell Head, he's from Utah. He doesn't sound like this freaking wizard guy.
Man, so that's weird, dude. What's going on with Mitch?
I know, right? So where is Mitchell Head? If he's not the Oracle, it's definitely not him. I don't know, maybe it's like a voice changer or something. But look, I probably shouldn't even be saying all this stuff, because somehow someone's going to find this out. Look, my theory is that the Serpent Sons attack was like some kind of false flag. Have you heard about these? It was this coup internally with the Truth Seekers to try to get rid of Mitchell Head. Look, I have some information that might help us see what's really going on here, Earl.
Oh my goodness. Wow. That is really wild, man. Look, we got to take a commercial break, but you got to call in next week and you got to give us some more of this information. This is some crazy stuff. All right. Thanks for calling in, Mr. Kidd.
What in the world is that? Man, I really should have screened that before I put that all out on the air. May have to go back and edit some of that. That Samurai Kid, did you hear he said my show was bad, and he was talking all about how the Oracle was a different guy or something, and I don't know anything about that, and don't know what he's talking about, and we love the Truth Seekers. Yay, and we're going to try to get him on the network, so let's just, hopefully we can edit that out, because that maybe shouldn't have been aired, but, well, okay. Samurai Kid's clearly in over his head. He's off the rails. He's a wackadoo, crazy nutball, and none of the stuff he said was true. It's a bunch of if you hear these conspiracy podcasts, they are so nuts. These people are nutso. They shouldn't even be talking about this stuff. It's crazy. So don't believe any of that stuff. Don't listen to it. I'm going to try to scrub that from the episode. Hopefully it won't go out onto the feeds. And would that happen? Okay, so let's get into this other podcast. You know it. You've been waiting for it, wanting to hear it. It's the new podcast from two of your favorite guys. We don't even have to say what it is because you know it. You've been waiting for it. Let's play it. Let's check it out. It's going to be weird.
This episode of Renegades is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club.
It's brought to you
Every
by
man grooms, but every man's
guys
grooming
shave your
needs are a little
balls?
different. Eventually, you'll probably have questions. Every guy does. That's
guy
okay.
shaves their
Questions
nuts.
like, does my razor need 6 blades, or am I good with 4? Should I shave my balding head,
Should I
or
shave
keep
my
holding out?
freaking nutsack? You hear some of these, all these podcasts have commercials about that. Okay, I'm going to fast forward. I don't want to hear about it.
Over the last 10 years, Comcast has worked to advance digital
Comcast.
equity and close the digital
I don't want to hear
divide.
this crap either.
Now they're
Okay, let's get to the show.
Ooh, it's so good.
Like a lot of people, the year 2020 stirred up a whole lot of emotions in me. For 3 years, I'd had to watch a presidential successor who was diametrically opposed to everything I believed in. And witnessed a country that seemed to be getting angrier and more divided with each passing day. Then came a historic pandemic, along with a slipshod government response that rained hardship and loss on millions and forced all of us to consider what's really important in life. And in the middle of all this, there were the nationwide protests triggered by the murder of George Floyd. Yet another tragic reminder of just how powerfully racism continues to stain so many aspects of American life. And all that was before the world witnessed a violent mob, spurred on by lies and wild conspiracy theories, storm the U.S. Capitol where I'd once served.
Dang. You remember that?
How did we get here?
What the frick?
How could we find our way back to a more unifying American story? That topic came to dominate so many of my conversations last year, with Michelle, with my daughters, and with friends. And one of those friends just happened to
my
be
new-
Mr. Bruce Springsteen.
What? The new friend, this guy.
On the surface, Bruce and I don't have a lot in common.
The
He's a white guy
boss.
from a small town in Jersey.
The boss. That's right. It's the Renegades. This is our new favorite podcast. We're going to listen to every single episode. Oh, so far this is boring. Let's fast forward. I want to hear some of this back and forth between the boss and the other boss, the former president.
Yes. Okay. I apologize. Can we move on?
Oh, I'm sorry I was late.
This is for you, sir.
Well, I like how y'all just put a little whiskey there just in case.
We keep that there permanently.
Just
It just sits there
just
just
like
while
a-
you're recording.
yeah.
If something happens,
yeah, where you go, man, I need
you know, and you need it, you go get it. Question. How do you like to be addressed?
rock, man.
What is going on in this? What the hell is going on? He needs whiskey.
Second,
You're here. You're on. You're
I
live.
want to get it right.
Put a loud mic on
Yeah, that makes sense.
They
When was this studio
shouldn't air this. This is just behind the scenes stuff. Even I know that. You can't air this kind of stuff. Just talking, putting the mics on.
We built this about 8 years ago, maybe.
Love this place,
Really
man.
great.
It's pretty
All right, let's do it.
Go.
So we're sitting here in
The great state of
the
New
great
Jersey.
state of New Jersey with one of New Jersey's prodigal sons,
That's about right.
the boss, my friend Bruce Springsteen.
Boss.
And we're in a studio. Just to paint a picture here, we've got, how many guitars you got up in here?
They got a bunch
We're
of
looking
guitars.
at the house of 1,000 guitars right now.
I haven't counted them all, But there are guitars everywhere. There is a ukulele, a banjo.
So if we get moved to make music, we
I've been
we
known
got
to
the
sing.
instruments at hand.
It's good to see you, my friend.
It's good to see you also.
Okay. Yep, we're going to listen to all of it. That's about all I can handle for now. But hey, it's time for another segment. We did a lot in the podcast one. We had to listen to that crazy fool, Samurai Kid. We're going to come back to Renegades. That's going to be one. Got to hear this thing. But we've got another one that we need to hear too. It's cool. We haven't done this one in a while. We was gonna try to do it last week. Didn't work out. So now we're gonna do it now. Let's see how it goes, everybody. Let's see if this is a good one for the next segment. It's the free sound for all.
Stand still, kid. We just heard what we do to go. Stand still.
Oh.
Get me out of here. We got the horses.
He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake.
You just take it easy.
Hold on!
You understand?
Hold
Okay,
on! Hold on!
All right, cut it.
How? Get on now! Hold on! How? Get out! How? Get up there! How? How, boy? How? Get along now! How, boy? Hold on! Hold on! Hold on! Hiya! Let's go! Hold up there! Hiya! Let's go! Hold on! Hiya! Come on! Come on, Dandy!
Still rolling?
Hold up there! Come on, my beauties! Let's go! Hold on, you fool!
Come on,
My beauties! Pull, dang you, pull! Come on, my beauties! Pull, dang you, pull! Come on, my beauties! Pull, dang you, pull! Come on, my beauties! Pull, dang you, pull! Come on, my beauties! Pull, dang you, pull! Come on, my beauties! Pull, dang you, pull! Come on, pull! Come on, Dandy! General! McGee! Hiya! Let's go!
Oh. Oh.
That was the free sound for all. Man, that was nuts.
Oh my word.
Hope you like that one. We're going to do some more free sounds and stuff. Got some cool sounds we've been picking at and going through and trying to figure out. I think we hit on something cool there with a little sound stuff. This is kind of different though. Speaking of the stuff that Pod Nut Media's having us do, and maybe I shouldn't preface it with that. I kind of have to get this teed up. Okay, well we gotta do some ads. I'm supposed to make this organic, but let me see if I can. I didn't even do the music. I forgot I was supposed to do it. I'm just gonna sort of tack it on at the end, but here we go. Hey everybody, what's going on today? This is the Cool Podcast. I'm your host. You've been listening to the show for a long time. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking out Podnut Media, and we've got some great sponsors over there. One of the sponsors we've got today is a really cool company that I've been using for a long time. I love these guys. Sometimes, you know, things get a little weird around the house. You know, sometimes you're walking around just in your birthday suit. I know that sounds funny, but in the privacy of your own house, you can do that kind of stuff. But whenever you're walking around in your birthday suit, does your partner or whoever's around, maybe the dog or just anyone that's around, did they ever mistake you for looking like a Sasquatch whenever you're walking around without your birthday clothes on? If you hate having a hairy bum, a hairy butt, then try a new product from our new sponsor. That's right, their sponsor called Butt Cut. They're the all-new men's grooming kit just for guys. Comes with a special trimmer perfect for those hard-to-reach areas, right around your keister, your bum. Butt Cut. They got a great trimmer over there. I've been using this to shave my hiney. Its patented design will guarantee a smooth finish, and I can definitely
it's so good.
attest to that. I've got a smooth rear end right now. Also comes with an almost said something else. Kind of funny. But they said not to say that word in the ad. It also comes with an aftershave we call the Tushy Tincture. It will make sure your hindquarters are silky smooth. So, check out Butt Cut now and enter offer code COOL to get 20% off your next purchase.
The Cool Podcast.
Get those hairs out of there with Butt Cut. Well, shouldn't have pushed that button. We'll have to edit that out. We meant to do the cheer button. Okay, that didn't go good. Whew, this episode is going to get me in big trouble. Oh, crap. Wouldn't be the first time. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, we've been in trouble with some episodes before. That's kind of what has happened before to us. Saying the wrong thing, shooting our mouths off, getting in big trouble. But check out Butt Cut. They're really good. They're a great sponsor. We thank them for sponsoring us. We're sorry that we accidentally hit the boo sound alert. We meant to hit the cheer. Anyway, let's get to another segmentos, and then that'll probably be it. Although we do have a little bit more time, I guess. Interesting. I thought this was going to be... Sometimes it's hard to get the timing just right. Maybe we got time to squeeze another one in there. Which one could we squeeze in here? Something's got to be quick. Let's do this one real quick. Let's just run through. I like this segment. This is one of my favorite ones. We don't get to do it too much. Actually, I think we did it last week, but we need to kind of work it into more episodes because it's a lot of fun. Let's see if we can bust this one out real quick. It's What's News. Yeah, baby, it's What's News. We love it. So, we like some of the weird, odd news. So, we're going to see... Okay, stop with the clapping. We're going to see What's News. What are some cool news stories? Well, we're going to have to find something. Because we've just cracked open What's News. We like some of the weird news headlines. And let's see if we can do that today. Nothing's jumping out at me right now. On some of these news, let's just read through. We can just read through some of the stuff. Some of the articles. Wow, this is not going good. Okay, women who worked at the same restaurant find out they're biological sisters. Dang, that's kind of crazy. Discovered 9 years later that they're biological sisters. Florida police officer rescues coyote struggling to swim to shore. That's pretty cool. Kangaroo on the loose in an Alabama town. Any of these jumping out to anyone? Anything at all so far? That's the hard part about these news articles. Okay, especially the weird ones. Is these gonna be? Of course they're gonna be weird, but are they gonna be funny? Okay, now this sounds cool. Teens Civil War reenacting chicken found in Alabama. A Mississippi teen who lost his Civil War reenacting pet chicken Peep outside a Cracker Barrel restaurant in Alabama was reunited with the bird, courtesy of a farmer who helped find the fowl. Isn't that nice? It's a Confederate chicken. Maybe they should have fried it up in a pan, because we hate the Confederates. But it's a Confederate Civil War chicken. What's this about? Let me get back to the article. Thomas Ramsey, who founded a military reenactment group for youth, told the Coleman Times he was headed home from a weekend evening at Spring Hill, Tennessee, when he stopped with a friend at the restaurant in Coleman. He left Peep, a rooster that participates in simulated battles, tied to his truck in the parking lot. Ramsey, 18, said he and his friends walked out about an hour later to discover the chicken had flown the coop. Oh no, went back to the Cracker Barrel. You have cameras in your parking lot? Someone stole my chicken. Peep was wandering around the Cracker Barrel. What the F? That's just so crazy. And I hope it's going to say something about why this damn chicken, what does it have to do with reenacting the Civil War? I'm trying to find a chicken sound, in case you haven't figured out why I'm continuously vamping and vamping. That's not one. There we go. Someone overheard Peep was wandering around the parking lot. There's a missing chicken. Peep soon spread on social media. Coleman, a town of about 16,000 people, got a message the bird had been found outside the Cracker Barrel. Well, it's good that they found it, because that thing could have been thrown in the fryer and fried up into some fried chicken. So anyway, Ramsey said Civil War soldiers sometimes had animals with them on the battlefield. So he takes Peep to reenactments. During the first one Peep attended, the bird got out of a bag and wandered around during the simulated battle. There's 10 cannons just blazing and all the rifle fire, and he's not going crazy. He's pretty chill. Well, except he got out of that bag. Put that damn thing back in the bag. That is just crazy.
That is crazy. Oh my word.
Peep, you crazy chicken. You damn Confederate chicken. Go back to doing your wars. Alright, well that was fun. That was kind of cool. Let's get into the last segment. This is another quickie. Sometimes, we've got quickie segments, we got longer ones. It's the cool recommendations. People love the recommendations that I give on the podcast. As far as I know, everyone checks out everything that I've been recommending, and they know exactly what's going on. They're checking it all out at all times, and they're loving it. Well, it just so happens the last time we did this episode, we recommended a channel, and it ended up, I found some information about the host of the channel, a YouTube channel. Thought it was kind of cool, but, well, maybe he might have done some bad stuff, and I thought, let's not risk it. Let's formally redact the recommendation. I don't really know what let's just say we're gonna blow that guy up. It sounds kind of violent, but we're blowing up the recommendation. So we're taking the recommendation away from the other channel that may be canceled for doing something. We don't know. We're not gonna risk it. So we're gonna give a different recommendation. It's for a cool guy, a nice guy. It's a cool channel about a guy who travels around in his RV. It's called Traveling Robert.
Episode, we are going to explore Salt Lake City, its capital and home to the Latter-day Saints Church. We're going to test the Colorado's top speed, or not, at the Bonneville Salt Flats. We're gonna take a dip in the Great Salt Lake. We're gonna drive the Alpine Loop with trailer in tow. Not recommended. Then the road will take us south, and we'll drive on legendary State Route 12 through Red Canyon, Kodachrome Basin, Escalante, Capitol Reef, and eventually Dead Horse Point.
He's going to some
Island
cool
in the Sky,
places in Utah.
in another action-packed episode coming up next.
Now, before we get into this guy's cool. He's just an older guy. He drives around in his truck and his RV, doing traveling. He's a nice older guy. Appears to be single in his RV, and he travels and makes YouTube videos. Nice guy. I think he does his own music in the intro, which is what we're about to hear right now. Check this out. This is cool. This is cool.
Oh, yeah!
riding in my RV. Wherever I
See this intro too.
Because I'm free in my RV. So I've been here in Salt Lake City now for a couple of days. Got a visit from longtime viewer Bill, and he treated me to some Crown burgers, a local delicacy.
Delicious. Longtime
Now
viewer.
it is Saturday, September 5th, 2020, and Ely just arrived last night, so let's do some exploring. This is the heart of downtown here. The Latter-day Saints imposing office skyscraper here to the right.
So he's got his camera going, dash cam, showing you all the stuff, all the sights and sounds around Salt Lake City, which is pretty boring. He goes to the Capitol, but that's not really all that interesting. He goes on a lot of outdoor stuff, some hikes. Here he's going to the Salt Flats. He goes into Nevada, drives around. I haven't watched the whole thing, but it's just a chill thing. You put it on, you watch it. He's a nice guy. He drives in his RV. So check it out, Traveling Robert on YouTube. He's got a cool intro song with a cool little montage of different photos shaped like the states and different countries coming together, signifying all of his different adventures in his RV. Isn't that nice? Aww. All right, well, thanks for listening tonight and today and this afternoon, whenever you're checking us out. Man, we've got all kinds of stuff. It's plugs. We're going to have some bonuses coming up. If you're a patron, check those out. We've got the Cool Stream Instantgram. Check that out as well.
Stream.
Got a lot of cool posts on there, on that thing. So, some fun vids and all that, that the usual. So anyway, we'll be seeing ya. I'm already getting ready to post the episode. Not even paying attention, but we'll be seeing you, everybody, next time on the show. It was a lot of fun. It was crazy cool.
That is crazy. Oh, my word.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Call me the son of a biscuit-eating bulldog.
Woo!
Podnut Media.
Come on, my beauties. Pull, dang you, pull!